What's up? You guys are the special ones. Appreciate you being here. Practice 6, pads are on today. I think there's a little bit more excitement today that they can tackle a little bit. You guys will see a little live period of 6 plays early, just to coach it up and see how these guys go. But practice 6. Next question.
Is there any sort of like position group you've kind of been evaluating, but you wanted to see once the pads get on?
You know what? Every one of them. I mean, every one of them. There's competition really at every spot. I think we're looking for some. Obviously, offensive line wise, we feel good with that starting group. Coretta's done a nice job here. We're looking for those guards to see who's stepping up there. And I'll mention one name that you haven't even heard. I don't know if you even talked to him yet. It's Torian Chester. This guy's a big beast. He's loud. He's aggressive. He's intense. This guy's going to be a great lineman for us. We talked to staff meetings yesterday. I was like, hey, BJ plays as a freshman. Started as a freshman, I believe. So it can be done. He's got that kind of attitude right now. I'm excited about Torian right now. He's got a little different something to him. So we're excited there. But there's competition in every position, and there's nothing I'm looking forward to seeing. I'm looking forward to seeing our guys get 3% better every day, and the improvement in camp is important.
Is Torian at both guard spots? Or?
He's really focused. As a freshman at that, he's at the right guard spot right now, behind BJ, and behind Jackson Brown, and behind Isaiah Montgomery. But he may make a move soon if those other guys don't step up.
We talked to Kendall Stanley the other day, and he told us dating back to spring he'd been working in as a guard as well. Just curious, what was the impetus there of having him start working in there in addition to that?
For who now? Get him.
Kendall Stanley.
Kendall. He's playing tackle and guard. We're always going to try to get our best 5 on the field. And he's played a little in there just because Coretta was banged up a little bit early, which he'll be back today. But we're just trying to get our best players. So when we did that, we moved Keith over to some center because he did that at the end of spring ball last spring. I had those things in there on the phone. I hate those things. That's why I probably didn't hear you listening. So that's one of the reasons. But we think he's a tackle, and we really want to keep him a tackle. That's why I want some guards to step up so he doesn't have to go move in there. Great question.
How do you feel about Dez returning punts this year? I know you try to keep him healthy, try to maybe limit his workload a little bit, but you need an explosive player on the field.
Yeah, whether Dez or Kenny Johnson, we trust both those guys down. Poppy's getting some work there. Blue Hicks is getting work there. So we got at least 4 capable guys that can get us help in the return game. So it's a game of football. Dez is tough, and he'll be able to handle that regardless of what what workload we give him at tailback. One of the greatest questions of all time was, we got it down at the media day there in the press conference. They said, hey, about carrying the workload. Do you need to take some time off? He goes, hey, I'll do whatever's best for the team. You talk about a team guy. So I love that question. I love that answer out of him, and he doesn't care. He's going to play football.
What have you seen from Jeremiah or Marcellin? Is he kind of putting the pressure on Braylon at all?
There's always pressure on him. Jeremiah's almost, at this point, after 6 and after spring ball, solidified himself to that 4th guy in. I think that's what he's done. He's going to be that next dude at linebacker. So I think what he's done there is solidified himself there, a guy that we can feel comfortable with. Like right now, Braylon needs a blow, go in. Okay? Braylon or Biles needs a blow, hey, Lovelace, move over, Jeremiah, go in. That's kind of the rotation we'd have right now as we stand. But again, I hope we don't, I hope there's some other guys that step up to the point where we can count on them all.
Speaking of those guys stepping up, how about Jaden Bonsu and Cameron Lindsay, guys like that?
Yeah, there is a gigantic battle going on right there. That would be one focus I would have out there is find out who does that. But, Bonsu's healthy. He lost a lot of reps in the spring. Cam Lindsay kind of moved ahead of him because of reps. But that is a battle going on right now. Cam's done a nice job. He's gotten better. Bonsu's done some great things out there. So that, and Bonsu's athletic. He's strong. He's fast. He shows great athletic ability. So that's a battle there, which, again, both those guys can move into the boundary. So, those two need to continue to make strides at that position, which makes us stronger as a linebacker crew.
You talked to us the other day about quite a few explosive plays by the offense over the weekend, and you named off quite a few wide receivers making those plays. Is that indicative of the depth you think you have there at receiver?
I think it's depth at the knowledge. You know, it's depth. It's knowledge of what they're doing, how they're doing it. You know, the tempo of the offense, the whole deal. It's also who's covering them. Okay, I didn't tell you who covered them that day, right? You know, hopefully it's not our one defensive backs out there that are giving up those, you know, possible big passes. So I think it's a little bit of everything.
How has Tamon Lyman kind of settled into his bigger role this season?
You know, Tamon's done a nice job. We got to give him to play a little bit lower because he's a big, tall, rangy guy. Got to keep his hands out of people's faces because he's got those little, little receivers and he's a big guy. But Tamon's done a nice job. He just keeps getting better.
I don't think we've asked you much about the specialists so far. I mean, how's things working at kicker right now?
Yeah, Jim. The punter spot, in fact, you'll get 6 periods today, so you get a little punting action in today. So you'll be there for that. And then the kicking action, maybe we got to move field goal up early in practice so you guys can watch a little bit. We used to do it earlier. Bro likes it later in practice, but it's been going good. James has done a nice job. I'd say he's that far ahead of Sam right now. So, and again, we got a freshman in Trey that's doing a nice job as well. So we'll, continue to work at that. But I've been happy with what I've seen out there so far.
What does EGK stand for?
Everybody's going to know. Players came up with that. Everybody's going to know. So everybody's going to know what this 2025 product's about. And again, our leadership council came up with that. Everybody's going to know.
Anything else?
All right.
Thanks.
Hopefully, we're using that as a hash.